welcome to another episode of World of Tanks at Ungainly Titan. We're here on Ghost Town in Counter Battle, and every time I hear Ghost Town, the lyrics of the old Specials single from 1981 start to run through my head, at least the refrain and chorus. I don't remember most of the rest of the song, it's a long time ago. Tier 9 matchmaking, technically there is one Tier 9 in each side, but we're on a Fatherland, the IS-3A Fatherland, premium Tier 8 Soviet heavy tank, and we don't care about Tier 9s, don't particularly care about a lot of Tier 10s. There's a pretty good gun on the Fatherland, and it will penetrate most heavy tanks, certainly most Tier 9s. And if it doesn't, you can go to the good stuff and penetrate with that. And it likes battlefields like Ghost Town because you're up close. It doesn't care about the fact that your gun is inaccurate when you're up close. It can make a difference. Obviously, not a tank you should be snapshotting with, which I do later on. Of course, the actual image of the town and the map, the desert area around it, and the dried up lake side or whatever, remind me more of the effects, the pictures I'd seen of the Aral Sea and the drying up of the Aral Sea and the disastrous irrigation policies the Soviet Union practiced in the region, and the desertification caused by those irrigation, the over-irrigation of the soil, and the desertification by bringing too much salt up to the surface. However, that's another story. The other thing, of course, about Ghost Town is that because it's all blocks, it's a block fight, and the blocks are quite small. So you can be holding your own on your own corner, but your allies might not be holding their corner, and if you're not paying attention to the overall situation reasonably closely, you can suddenly find yourself in a three-way gunfight where you're just meet in the middle and people are coming down the three different streets around you. There's usually kind of threes that it joins up at, and you can't get away and you're in complete trouble, so you need to keep an eye on what's going on around you. It's also one of the reasons I prefer to start at the outer edges and work my way into the middle rather than start in the middle and working my way out to the outer edges. I think it's just better that way. Now, we've spotted a dragon on the hill. Don't really like going in the hill anymore. I've tried it a few times. I had a couple of great games on the hill, but generally it's very situational. I've had a great game with a Hellcat up there, and I had a great game, I think, with a T-67, but it depends on people going into the right spots in the centre of town, because you're firing between buildings and it's a rather narrow lane of fire that you get, but sometimes you can get some great damage done because people are corner fighting at the right spot. Now, that T-10 wasn't paying attention to what was going on at the corner, so we took advantage of it. The Oho has splashed one off the side of the tank. He's actually done a bit of damage. But I have allies coming here to the corner, so I think it's time to give that Oho a bit of a spanking. With the 110 gone, so 3 IS-3s, or 3 IS-3 variants. He's down to a one-shot, so I reckon it was just worth my while to keep going, and we put one into, we finish him off. Now, I took a hit from the Carnarvon, and I think I probably took a hit from the AMX light tank 1390 or whatever it is. So I tracked the Carnarvon because I know that there are two more IS-3s. There's a Fatherland and another IS-3 around the location, so he will take an awful punishment, but he's sitting there and can't maneuver. And he's gone now, and the RSS was 1390. The MX 1390 has tried to make his escape, but I think he got caught going up the slope there by somebody. So I'm coming around this way because I know there's a light tank in my flank and he hasn't spotted anything. So the left is safe, and we're just waiting to see here now. This is where I make the mistake here. I don't wait for the sights to fully aim in, and I don't know where I put that one, but I didn't do any damage to the VK4502, which was a mistake because I really should have taken advantage of the flank shot when he wasn't aware of my position, rather than now trying to put shots through the front of a VK4502. I blocked, it looks like I drove into one of my allies there, a bit of a wedge at the back of the tank, but unfortunately there was no damage, so Tiger 2 comes off the top of the building there to take out the VK. And the VK then gives me the side of his turret, and the side of the turret's quite soft and quite vulnerable, so there is now only 4 tanks left. I am on fairly low health though. But still, we're going to bravely go forward anyway and see if we can get some damage in before the game is ended. Because these 4 tanks are completely surrounded. There's no escape, or there's no place for them to run to, because there's heavy tanks. So they're not going to be, you know, getting away quickly from anybody, and they're surrounded by tanks in very close proximity. Chance to shot there through the concrete sewer pipes, but I didn't get any hit. Come around the corner, and I should have fired at the upper plate rather than the lower plate. I make that mistake, and I repeat it again a moment later. I was really playing badly at this particular point in time. Judgment just not up with it at all. Even though I aimed, the stope was still too much to actually get that shot through. And then I make an even bigger mistake. And it's a thing that I was very prone to in the beginning, the first 2 years since playing this game, which is inviting another person into the fight when there's still a gun in front of you. I should have finished off the Fatherland instead of shooting the other Fatherland, who wasn't actually engaged in this fight at the moment. It was a particularly bad habit of mine. When you were trying to hold a corner and you're outnumbered and you see somebody passing and you just take a shot at them because you can. It looks like a good idea, you're shooting at the enemy, but you're actually you're already outgunned and you're inviting another gun into the fight, because people tend to shoot the guy who shot at them last. Or at least turn their guns, and they tend to, some people get, you know, quite annoyed over it actually, and it can be very effective in distracting people. If you have somebody in the reverse, somebody's outnumbered on the enemy team and he's successfully holding off a superior number of your allies, you shoot them from the side or behind. Even if you don't penetrate them, they'll look and they'll turn the turret and lose their tank thereby. So behind the Tiger, we got a round in. Next bit of damage and the game over. God, there was quite a few, very few of us left at the end, even though we outnumbered those 4 tanks. However, we won, and that's the important bit. So we did 2,887 damage, 705 assisted damage, mostly probably from tracking that Carnarvon. Blocked almost our hit points, 1,260. Yes, it's quite interesting. Those 4 enemy tanks managed to almost pull off a last stand there, because there's only 2 of us left at the end, and I had very little hit points. Don't know what the Spa Panzer had. But still, we pulled off the win, I suppose, and that is the main thing. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up. Really helps the channel out. If you have not already done so, please subscribe. And I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.